Good morning. It is Wednesday Wellness, and our candle today is brought to you by strawberry shortcake. Yummy, it smells. Is everybody getting their candles? Or have you gotten your candles? You got a particular scent that you want to tell me about? I got that one, and it smells beautiful. It smells so beautiful. Can everybody hear me well and clear? Today we're going to talk about men and their health. We're going to talk about why it is important. We're going to tell you about our workshop for men and the emotions. And our very special announcement is that I finally finished Men and Emotions, the book. I'm excited about it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it after we talk about men and their emotions. Many men have been told to suck it up. No, it's not that big of a deal. Don't show your emotion. What do you have to cry about? It's okay. Take it like a man. While it may not be anything necessarily that may be so wrong with saying that, because you may believe that you're trying to encourage. And we know that you are. You're being encouraging. So we want to let you know, if there's any men listening today would be a good day to listen. It is so important to listen to the men in our lives, whether they are our sons, whether they are our husbands, lovers, workmates, to listen to how they feel, our brothers, our fathers, our grandfathers. Listen, and listen. It's important. Why is this important? It is important because they have feelings. Come a little closer. Men have feelings too. We get a lot of empowerment of women, empowering women to be strong, empowering women to be independent, empowering women to have certain freedoms, empowering women to have a voice. But I want to say something to you all. Good morning, Trish. That's the first thing I want to say.
Good morning.
And when you have men in your life, are we really listening to them? Because as I've said before, and I'll say it again, and you're gonna hear me say it in the workshop, that men are already titled. And sometimes it looks as if they are only breadwinners, men of the house, manning up. We say all these things. But I hope that if any of you are going to attend a workshop for men, but not exclusively for anyone that wants to come, but we want you to come with the understanding of You will gain knowledge, insight from personal experiences. You will hear from certain men of various walks of life. You know, we look at the caliber of a man. Are we looking from the outside in? Or do we just think that it's okay to look at them, the outer surface? Or do we see what they really are? Because men have emotion too. When I started Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, my idea was to reach all people, not just the women, but the men too. Earlier in the year, we had a workshop for women. We will continue to have that. I thought that it would, excuse me, I just stumbled right over that. I thought it would be really important to focus on human. This podcast is not biased toward men and just for women. And you might say, well, what do I know? I'm not a man. And for any of you listening out there, I've had men in my life, whether it's been my brothers, whether it's been my dad, whether it's been my uncles, nephews, sons. I am not a man, but I know about men. And you're going to learn about experience, not something that we don't know a thing or two about. And we will speak on that. We will speak on behalf of the men in our lives. And we'll give them a chance to be able to vent, be vulnerable. Yes, show real emotion. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast and Healing Center is a chance for you to feel safe. And by the way, for a workshop, you will be given the opportunity to fill out a registration form. And it asks you a question. What brought you here? Or why are you interested? Something along those lines. And you will have to answer truthfully. You will have to think about your answers. There is no wrong or right answer. But I want to make sure before you spend $50 to come into a session, and we're going to give you all the dates, that you have spent it well, you have learned something, you have been heard, and there are others like you. Whenever we're designing a poster, you know, we all use different means of design. I always want to have a variety of men. And I'm talking about ethnicity. We are not just talking to one specific group. We are taking a chance to talk to all men. Why? Because your health is important. You know, people use the term, my man takes care of me. That's all good. That's great. But at the same time, are you giving that back? Are you taking care of the men in your life? I don't mean in a financial way. We're so busy trying to one up. I'm finding that even couples do that. Oh, she makes more than I do. And you're feeling yourself, literally, when it should be a team effort. After all, who's counting the cash. We look to more of who's supporting. We look to more building up, not breaking down, not making the man feel as if he is nothing. There's going to be a lot of questions asked, such as, are there any fathers? You're going to have a workbook. We're going to do some of that. I guarantee you that it will be very intensive. Something that you have honestly never been to before. You will learn in the 4 days that you are there that you are okay. You will hear from different ones by excerpt, by video, by people being able to speak of how they felt, what they went through, what they learned. This is your chance. We guarantee you that it will be respectful. People will have the opportunity to be able to express themselves without judgment. For those of you who are listening, I encourage you, please, to encourage the men in your life to be at that workshop. It is going to be life-changing for the wellness and the well-being. We're so focused on empowering women, and I'm a woman, Trisha's a woman, we agree 100%, but what have we done with the men, our fathers, our brothers? Are we empowering them? You mothers that have raised your sons, not to just be a king, but to be more than that. To be able to express his feelings. To be able to say, today I'm not feeling strong. Today I need to rest. Today I'm going to take off to get my mindset together. See, we talk all about our wellness, our care, our being well in the heart and the mind. But what about our men? How are they feeling? Our poster is dealing with feelings. I want to talk about those feelings for a moment because they're important to the wellness and well-being. They're important. And I want you to pay attention to some things that maybe you don't see that they're feeling. Anger, grief, sadness, regret, ashamed, jealousy. We want you to be able to get to know those feelings and talk in depthly about the experiences. And I guarantee you, it is no joke. You're going to be able to look into your workbook. I've been working on this for so long. You're going to be able to understand that every man carries all these feelings. We're not to compare that a woman may go through more. A woman, I can tell you, front and center, we do go through a lot of feelings. But that man, your son, that man, your father, that man, your brother, your uncle, your boss. Do you know what it's like to wear the shoe of those men in your life? You know, we oftentimes say those are some big shoes to fill, but I say if the shoe fits, wear it. You know what that means? If you can understand it, if it fits your life, and any woman that's out there that's saying, I don't need to understand a man, but you do. Because it makes for better relationships, it makes for better communication. And how we talk to the men in our lives. People oftentimes tell me, and I've said this before, that I'm strong. Oh, that all the men in my life, I would have a hard time listening to them. And how wrong you are. Because if you said that about me and you said that you know me, you don't really know me. Because I think that that's important. As a matured woman of 58, I think I've had some experience. One thing I don't like to see is a woman bossing a man. If you're doing that, stop it. Because there's nothing cute about that. There's nothing sexy about that. It's like, cancel that. Because sometimes when a man is, or you're doing that to your man, you're humiliating him. And what do I mean by that? Trish, what do you think I mean by that? What are your thoughts?
I think that means if you're that sort of humiliation is about demeaning someone of their masculinity, I believe, as speaking for the men, I feel like that is demeaning them of their character, and it's saying they have no control, and it's not giving them a sense of I can be me and I can do what I think I should do, because they're not children. They're not babies. They know what they want. They know what they want to do, and I can't stand that either. I can't stand when I see women control men and treat them like children and telling them what to do and things like that. And yeah, it's very demeaning for their character.
Yeah. I had something happen to me this weekend. I met some now forever friends. I went to a spiritual convention. As you all know, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and if you're familiar with us, we have yearly convention, and this was our turn to go. As far as the District of Los Angeles, they're all over the world. I actually met a lot of people, but I met this certain couple that I just loved and adored them. Why? Because the 3 days that I was there, the woman supported the man. he had a disability of some sort. And the way she cared for him. We're not seeing that these days. Because whatever he's dealing with, he needed her help. And when we are saying our marriage vows, do you think about the marriage vows? Remember the one that says, through sickness and in health? What do you think that means? Let's talk about that. You saw a guy. He saw you. You got to know him. And he may have, in your eyes, had the perfect body. And you may have saw that because that's eye candy as well. I'm not going to lie. Some of you are eye candy. Trust. But let's go through sickness and in health. Suppose you marry him and he comes down with something dreadful or something unforeseen happens to your man, that man. Is he of value to you then? Are you asking him how he feels? Because maybe that's something that happened to him, whether it was an injury, accident, sickness, and now he's affected in some type of way. Do you ask him how he's feeling? Is it really through sickness and in health that you're going to keep that commitment? Because after all, you agreed to be with him on that day and forevermore. I was really impressed by this couple. Because I thought to myself, it takes work. It's going to take work. See, before he wasn't dependent until that something happened. Or maybe you may have set those vows and not really thought about it before you married. But I ask that you think about it because what could happen? We don't know about the what ifs. We know about the present moment. And you said, I do. Period. Nothing after. I do. What does that mean? Well, for God's sakes, I would hope that we would think about that. Because what do we say? Don't ruin the moment because nothing's wrong now. Life is not promised to us in the next second, in the next moment. And we're about building up. So I don't want this to be a sad show. I want you to think deeply as your workbook is going to help you to think deeply. And by all means, I don't want you to be at this 4-day workshop and not really be interested because you have wasted your money. And I'm saying it as I head off this Men and Their Emotions workshop. I want you to be there with understanding, discovering something new, renewing, rekindling, because some of your relationships are in trouble. And a lot of it is because of whatever. So you thought I was going to give you the answer. lack of communication, loss of interest, interested in someone else. The list goes on and on. I guarantee you that if you come as a couple, you'll learn more. Trust me. In my 58 years, I've got somewhat of experience. I've talked to enough men in my life to understand. What responsibility are we playing in their wellness? You think about mothers. We go through a lot. We always talk about raising our kids. Ask any mother that's raised kids. Boy, has she got a story or two, or 6 or 10. But she's got stories. That's her experience. But when I have sat down and I have talked to men personally, even in my one-on-ones, I've learned so much. Men who have wept, literally cried. Men who are saying the same thing that we say as women is not weak. Come a little closer. Can you hear me now? Men who say the same thing that women say are not weak. You know, as we carry our load, our responsibilities, because the world is so different now, where the woman works, most women work just like the man does, so she understands how to do her paycheck. Nobody is sizing up who's making more. Stop that too. Be glad that you're not on the street. And if you are, you can still get help. What we're doing here is showing support for men's emotional and mental health by allowing them to be able to know that we do care. Whether you're 18 to 21, 21 to 30, 45 to 100, we do care. And that's why this Men and Emotions is so important. There was some time ago that I told Trish that I was writing a book. That's been about 2 years, maybe. Has it been, Trish, 2 years? About that.
Yes.
And I wanted to write this book. And as I wrote this book, with the help of modern technology, I rethought it. I wanted to know what I wanted to do with this book. Do I just want to create a book and say, yay, I created a book, I'm an author? No, I wanted to create a lasting book. Everybody get that? A lasting book. Not a book that was a fairy tale, but one that somebody could relate. And I began to tell Trish the names. By the way, Trish, the names got changed, as you'll see.
Yeah, I saw.
But I wanted each of them to have a different emotion. I'm not going to get really deep off into the book, because if I do that, you're going to say, why do I need to buy the book when she just told us? But I guarantee you that book is going to be a change to many, many people, including men. So we're not just saying, oh, you can't buy the book. What we are saying is, we want you to be able to purchase the book. The dedication, and I want to read this to you. It says, this book is dedicated to men of every emotion felt. To the man who wept in silence, who weeps in silence, and the one who rages at the storm. To the man who smiles through the pain, and the one who cannot smile at all. To the man who has lost, and the one that is still searching. To the man who has never been told it's okay to feel. You are not weak for carrying what you carry. You are not broken for feeling what you feel. You are human, and that is more than enough. This one is for you. I've dedicated this book to you men. Women, you too can have this book. Because it's going to help you to understand. It's going to help you to feel the feelings that they are feeling. And that's the intention. That book has been released, and it can be yours for $10. Digital book. Digital. Isn't everybody on digital? You can take that book. I got the opportunity when I was done to present it to my sons. As any mother might know, they too, your sons, they're walking around with feelings. But to sit down and to talk to them. Because you know what? This book helped me to realize too, that even if you don't talk to them, they're talking amongst themselves, and that's the important thing. That is what I want to still create. They're talking, whether it be in their garages, whether it be at a barber shop, they're talking. Just 1 minute. They are talking, and that's important. Hold on. And I apologize for that noise. They're talking. And when they are talking, wouldn't you like to be the fly on the wall? I want to read another part of this book that I think you're not going to get the whole book, so don't think that for 1 minute. You're going to have to purchase this book. And I guarantee you it'll be a nice investment. Anything that we do is always in the best interest of Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. It's always going to be for that. I want to read you something that I feel is important as a mother, as an ex-wife, as a girlfriend, as a woman, as a counselor, life coaching. Here's something that I want you to listen to. It says, I've sat across from men in pain more times than I can count. Men who walk through my door, shoulders squared, jaws set, voice steady, performing composure the way they had been taught to perform it since boyhood. Men who had not cried in years and didn't fully understand why. Men who had lost marriages, children, parents, purpose, and still answered, I'm good. Remember that word? I'm good. When someone asked how they were doing, not because they were lying, because they genuinely did not have another answer. Because no one had ever taught them that there was an answer. This is the wound under the wound, not the grief itself, but the silence around it. I created the Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast and healing center because I believe that healing begins with a conversation. And you might wonder, what kind of conversation is Denise talking about? Well, of course, a real one. A face-to-face one. You know, the kind when someone finally says what they have never said out loud and discovers the world does not end when they do. You know, that kind where another person looks up and says, me too. Me too. Don't get that twisted with the movement of the women, because that's important too. Because it happens to men as well. Never forget it. That's not, that what I just said is not in the book. I'm just telling you guys the realism. And something long held loosens. Without giving you specifics, I'm going to tell you the three characters in the book, and everybody that's going to be in that audience is going to be able to relate to one of them, if not all of them. Give yourself that opportunity. Maybe you didn't go through the exact same thing that these three men went through, but you say, I can relate because I remember that time. So the three boys, Trevor, are boys, let me state that respectfully, men. Trevor, Kevin, and Jason. They are in my story. Their pain is real. You know, the funny thing is, I've heard their stories. I have been in this business for 6 years. I've heard their stories. It's just been a different voice, different circumstances. These men, ladies and gentlemen, are like the men in your family. And that's why I think it's important for the women too. I don't just say, oh, this is for women, but we're going to be discussing men where you can say, that's happened to me. They are Trevor, Kevin, and Jason. These are the men in your family. You're going to be able to say, I can relate to Kevin. I can relate to Trevor. Or I can relate to Jason. Man who carries everything alone. But they're friends. They have a brotherhood. They're always able to show up for others but they never let anyone show up for them. They might be you, or maybe someone that you love. This book was written to give those men a mirror to be able to not diagnose themselves, not to feel shamed, but to say, I see you. This is real. This is what some of our men deal with. I see you. And you do not have to carry it alone. At the end of each chapter, you're going to be able to reflect. Please don't rush. Sit with these questions. Let's have conversation. I want you to be able to write in your workbook, talk about it with someone that you trust. Make that story, your writing, make it become your story. When I wanted a workbook, I asked for that, not just a story, so you won't get a bunch of pages of just storytelling, romance. You will be able to become part of those characters by asking yourself or being able to relate. I remember that happened to me. My acknowledgement is to each and every man. Each and every human. Keep facing the lion. And it has my name signed. So Kevin, Trevor, and Jason. I don't know about you. How do you feel about that, Trish? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to knowing their stories, and I'm just looking forward to how people are impacted by them, because based off the preview, you guys can go read it. I think many people can relate, and it's so important for other people to understand that yes, other people relate. And it's just like you said, everybody has the same story, but it's different voices, different faces. It's like the cover of a song. It's the same song, but different people sing it in their own way. And that's how this story is. It's about men and their emotions, and every man has these emotions and they show it differently, and they can come together and understand each other. So that's how I feel about it.
Thank you for that, Trish. Why did I ask Trish? Because Trish is important in this conversation, although she has her segment. And I want to know, from a woman's point of view, once she picks that book up, how will she feel? Trish, have you had the opportunity to read the book yet? You have all of it? Because I have it for you.
I don't have all of it, but I did read the the prologue. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it is.
Okay. So I'm going to send you the rest of it. Trish gets it because she is naturally a Vibe Talk co-host. And we're going to be talking about this book because it is my first book. Just because we're not on every day doesn't mean we're not working hard. Trisha's going to college, graduated, now is a teacher with a degree. So she's been quite busy. I've been busy lifing, working, setting up things for the podcast. I'm proud of myself, may I say, because I got through this. Sometimes when you say something, when you have a plan, you have to do some planning. Never forget that, guys. And with dealing with these men, I could have wrote this book any kind of way. I could have made it about people in my family. I chose to stand neutral, and I wanted to make it where it's just going to be just right. You're going to feel some sort of emotion. And by the way, there's 2 versions of this book. Because the second version, I was going to not have it. But the second version had some things that I could use. So you're going to get 2 versions. And when you guys talk about the book, you're going to come together and there's going to be things that you're going to say, oh, that wasn't in the book. But that's okay. When you enroll in the workshop, you're going to enroll in that workshop. You're going to have a registration form. Once you let me know that you want to do it, I can send you over a registration form. And all you have to do is answer all the questions. Nothing personal. No address is given. Also, I wanted to say that we hope that you will be able to get there. Now, I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for dates, right? I'm going to give you all the dates. And let me see. Hold on. Just 1 second. I'm looking for this. I just snapshotted them so I could give them to you guys. Thank you guys for your patience with me. Okay, so the workshops, 5 days intensive, August 10th through the 14th. Okay. Make sure you write that down, August 10th through the 14th. And I am on the West Coast, Los Angeles in. Trish, you're on the East. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Los Angeles time. So Trish, what time would that be for you? Where you are?
For me, that will be 7 to... Wait, you said 10 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. For me, that would be 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, we made it like that because I'm an early person. We used to do our podcast, remember, Trish, early. But I think that it'll be good. Bring your electronic devices in case you want to take note. You want to ask questions. We're going to have plenty of time for that. Please do that. It's going to be live. But here's the catch. You're not going to be able to get into it unless you've paid, and you will give confirmation of that. Here's what you're going to get for all 5 days. Your workbook, And your question, your answers, you're being able to testify. You're going to be able to talk about the book because you're going to get the book. And it is included. Hopefully you will prepay. So for the class, $25. For the book, $25. $50 for all 4 days. $150. Don't need to pay $50 each time you attend. That's not right. And we're no scammers. All proceeds will go to Vibe Facing the Lion Healing Center. And just for you folks, we are not at that old address. We're making it more private. And we're only going to release it to the people that really want help. The next dates for Men in Emotions. Saturday series. August 15th. The 22nd. And the 29th. $12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Trish, do you have this flyer?
No, I do not.
Okay. We'll make sure that you have it today. That class is going to be 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. because many of you, I know you want to sleep late. And there is nothing wrong with that. For all you hardworking people, even the ones that are stay-at-home dads, we know you need to rest. $50. Again, it's going to be $150. You don't want to miss this. It's going to include your book. You're going to be able to write in that book. And what I want you to do, when you get together with your brotherhood, your friends, I want you to be able to talk about that book, what it's done for you, how it helped you. Cashapp. I want to use Cashapp because I know that Cashapp is okay. You will confirm your payment. I will confirm it. Trish will confirm it. And it is at Vibetalkfacethelion. Vibetalkfacethelion. We will confirm that. We will know if it's any scamming on it. We will know. That's how we are here. We only want people to come that are truly interested. Think of your $50 as a well-spent investment on yourself. What are we going to do? We're going to use it for something. Art class. We're going to use it for things we need. We still need art supplies, so it won't be used for personal things. You must register, and you can register online at facebook.com/vibe underscore or vibe dash talk. Right on our social media page. So what you're going to do, if you're really interested, you're going to message me, or you can call our lines, our direct connect, 1-888-721-9260. And our local direct connect, 661-795-0475. Because this is going to be online, anybody can be part of that class as long as you have registered. And if your name is not on the registration, you will have no access to it. Must be registered. My name is Nisi. You know me as Nisi. That's for short. My given name is Denise. Last name is Robinson. I am a certified counselor, life coach. And that invitation is to you. You might want to invite somebody. The nice thing about it is that it's going to be in your home, wherever you want to do it privately. And we ask that you stay for the whole thing. Saturday's series is going to be different. From the first 5 days. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're welcome to attend. We'll be right back with Trisha's Treasures. Did you know Live Talk Facing the Lion podcast in the Healing Center has connected with 50 states? May your states be one of them. Catch us here on Facebook, Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion podcast, and wherever you're listening to podcast. We're back with Trish's Treasures. Trish?
First of all, I want to say I'm so excited about this, and I can't wait to read the rest. So I'm so excited about this, and it's a long time coming, but it came, and I'm so happy that it's finally here. And it's just so wonderful how we can give men space to feel and give them that space. And I hope they do realize that they do have the power and control to feel, because we are all given, and we have the gift of feeling. We all have that within us. And I'm just hopeful that this book will allow them to see that, hey, someone understands me and I get it. There's something in the Avatar movie. It's their slogan. It's a very famous phrase that they use. And the phrase is, I see you. And for them, that means I get you. I understand. I know you understand me. That's what their I see you means. And that's how I think this book will, and I hope that this book will help men to see that we see you, because we truly do. Something fun that I've been experienced 2 weeks ago, we played some Family Feud, and were one of the questions was, what out of 100 women, what do women think that men can't handle without them for a day? And the top question was they couldn't handle taking care of the kids for a day by themselves. And so I got that. I got the number one answer, guys. My team didn't win, but that was my answer. But yeah, and my dad was like, that's a very good answer. That's a very good answer. And it made me think about when my mom, she was in labor with my younger sisters, they're twins, and she had to stay at the hospital because they're premature, and my dad had to stay with us. Um, well, he had to manage the house while she was gone, and the roles were reversed. And I just want to say, my dad did a very amazing job. He woke up early in the morning, and he was going to college at the same time. Um, he missed his exam for us, but he got his degree. But it just inspired me when I saw him do that. I was 14 years old, but I saw my dad, and I always want him to know, not just on Father's Day and on his birthday, but I want him to know every chance that I get that I see him, because he's done so much. And he did an amazing job with managing the house and going to school in the morning, coming back, cooking for us, and still trying to find work while going to college and doing that, and worried about his wife in labor with his daughters and all of that. And just thinking about that, it really, really inspires me. Men, they inspire me because they handle so much on their shoulders, their strength. It's it's unbelievable sometimes, and I give you guys your props. I really, really do. And so in closing, I hope you guys read this book. I hope you guys join the workshop, and I hope you guys get in tune with your emotions.
Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast is affiliated with Trisha's Treasures. You want more of Trisha's Treasures? Go find it. You can hashtag Trisha's Treasures by Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, or you can come right here or go to our YouTube page. In a wrap, I want you to be thinking about your life, your purpose, what you're doing now, what you'd like to do, because I will have some leading questions as well. And I don't want you to think that it's just for one ethnicity, one group. Come. If you come as a couple, that's great. You don't have to pay per couple. You don't have to pay $50 twice. As a couple, you can share one book. The workbook is necessary for you to have because you're going to need to work in it. I promise that you will not get this in length anywhere else. We invite you just electronically. I have put out 100 flyers just today. See, Trisha and I, we're always working. You've gotten less podcasts, but you've gotten a lot of more work in place of that. And I wanted to tell you, too, since today is Wednesday Wellness, we haven't forgotten about the radio show. It's just been a lot of things going on. It's still going. I know you guys have asked me about it. It's still coming for you. We're going to do a People Bryson celebrating of life. We'd be remiss if we didn't do that. And we're going to be able to talk about music. And if you have dedications you want to do, you have our lines. You have questions, you have our direct connect. It doesn't have to be a podcast always running for you to be interactive. Ask questions. When we put up the ads yesterday, and I want to make certain that you all are aware of this, we are a zero tolerance. What do I mean by that? Everybody has it. Schools have their zero tolerance. Workplaces have their zero tolerance. We have our zero tolerance. Please do not message me if they follow me, can I follow them? Please don't do that, because that's not who we are. Trish and I do our own advertisement. If we are interested, we will follow. This is not about follow for follow. This is for the real people who like what we do in exchange for their life. And we are just going to stand down on all 10 toes with that, because I noticed that some of you were doing that, and this is not what that is. By the way, Trish, we're closer to 100 subscribers. We have what, 97, 96, 97?
Yep,
So,
we have 96.
yeah. So whatever you guys are doing, please subscribe to our channel. It's not about winning. It's not about who gets more. This is really information that is useful. Aren't you glad that we're not bombarding you with so much podcasts that you can't even keep up? And for those of you who are looking for us to record, we are recording this one, okay? And I want you to know that we want to be able to help you guys. If you have any questions, you can message us. We're willing to answer your questions. Wednesday Wellness is all about self-care. We hope we've done that, especially to men. Do we want to focus on today? That way you guys get to know what our men emotions and men. It took me forever, okay? It took me forever to get that book together, because I had to go away from it. Life was happening for me, and I want to write with a clear head. Of course, writing with today's technology, you give it an idea, you tell what you want, and they put what you want. I love that. Don't you love that, Trish?
Yes, I do.
So everybody can be an author. It's just, what are you writing about? So this book is ready to be released, and it's going to be at your advantage to get it. The proceeds, once again, I'd like to clear that up, that it doesn't go for anything else but for our healing center. We have made our healing center more private, because that way I want to be able to keep an eye on things and not have it where we're getting people that, aren't interested in it, and people coming to look. It put us at risk for a lot of things, so we're making it more private. The address will be. So, all things healing. I wish for you today and every day to get well, be well, and stay well. Get well soon. And I'm looking forward, Trish and I, to your interacting with Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. We'll see you soon.